Everybody wants to be happy. I mean, it's pretty much what drives all of us, right? But have you ever really stopped and thought about how you're trying to get there? We all have these default paths we take, these go-to strategies for finding fulfillment. And a great way to understand them is to think of your life as a journey. So imagine your life is this path. It's the way you move through the world looking for that sense of well-being. Are you sprinting towards some finish line you've set for yourself? Or are you maybe just kind of meandering, soaking in the scenery? Maybe you're the one who's always studying the map, trying to figure out the best possible route. Well, what if you actually had a map that could help you make sense of your own unique approach? That's exactly what positive psychology expert Tal Ben-Shahar gives us with his framework of 4 different archetypes. You can think of it like a guide to your own inner landscape. So why even bother with this? What's the point? Well, because when you understand your dominant archetype, it helps you figure out what really truly nourishes you. You start to see where you might be a little out of balance. And, most importantly, you can start to intentionally design a life that just works better for you. All right, so let's dive in and explore these 4 paths. And as we go through them, see if you can spot your own go-to tendency. Which one sounds the most like you? First up, we've got the performer. For this type, happiness is totally connected to achieving goals and getting results. Think of athletes, entrepreneurs, really anyone who gets a huge buzz from hitting those big milestones. Now, this path is a real double-edged sword. On one hand, the performer is incredible at making things happen. Their joy comes from that feeling of progress. But the risk is huge. They can put off all their happiness until the goal is reached, which means they're basically living for a future that never quite gets here. So the secret for the performer is, you guessed it, balance. They have to learn to be present to actually enjoy the journey itself, not just fixate on the destination. It's all about finding pleasure in the day-to-day process. That's what makes their happiness sustainable. Okay, let's move on to our next archetype, and you'll see how different this is. This is the contemplator. For them, happiness is found right here, in this very moment. Their superpower is being able to just fully immerse themselves in an experience without always looking ahead. The contemplator finds so much joy in something as simple as a walk in nature or quiet meditation. They genuinely appreciate the small stuff. But their potential trap is the exact opposite of the performers. This constant search for serenity can actually lead them to disconnect from action and shy away from challenges they really need to face. So to find that sweet spot, that fulfilling balance, the contemplator needs to work on their discipline. They have to build a bridge from all those deep inner insights they have to taking real, concrete action out in the world. Next up, we meet the philosopher. This archetype finds joy in the big quest for meaning and understanding. They are just driven by this deep, burning curiosity about how the world works and what it all means. Think of researchers, writers, anyone who just loves that aha moment when a new idea clicks. That's their high. But here's the risk. They can get so lost in theories and ideas that they become detached from actual lived experiences and emotions. They can end up living entirely in their head. For the philosopher, finding balance is all about moving from the mind and into the heart. They need to intentionally build relationships and really embrace what the model calls us, that messy, wonderful, emotional reality of human connection that grounds all their knowledge. And finally, our 4th archetype, the harmony seeker. This person just gets it, They intuitively understand that happiness isn't just one thing. It's about weaving all the different parts of life together. The harmony seeker is a master of the big picture, always trying to balance work, health, relationships, and their own growth. So what's the risk here? Well, in that quest for perfect equilibrium, their caution can become a cage. It can make them avoid the big, bold choices that often lead to the most amazing growth. So there you have it, the performer, the contemplator, the philosopher, and the harmony seeker. The big question now is, what do we do with this? How can we actually use this information to build our own happier path? Okay, this is probably the most important takeaway of all. This is not about sticking a label on yourself and putting yourself in a box. We all have a dominant tendency for sure, a path that feels like home. But real, lasting well-being comes from consciously developing the other parts of ourselves, the ones that are a little less active. A performer needs more contemplator energy, right? And a philosopher needs to lean into the harmony seeker's big picture planning. And this is really the end goal. See, happiness isn't some static place you get to. It's a dynamic, living system. It's about learning to consciously balance the energies of all four archetypes: action, presence, understanding, and integration within your own life. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The first step is just knowing yourself, recognizing your default mode. But the second, and honestly more challenging step, is growth. It's about intentionally watering those other, less traveled paths inside you. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Knowing your path is step one. So, what is one small, tiny action you could take today to develop a part of yourself that's a little less activated? If you're a performer, maybe it's literally just 5 minutes of sitting still. If you're a contemplator, maybe it's setting one tiny actionable goal. What's one step you can take to bring a little more balance to your journey? This whole framework is such a powerful tool for building a more intentional life. If you want to explore it a bit more with some guided questions and practices, you can reach out to the folks at Happywise. Thanks so much for listening.